Hi, this is Christine, and it's April 16th, 2020, and we're in the middle of the coronavirus where we have to stay in the house and everything. So I thought I'd tell one of my stories that happened back in 1992. Well, now I'm 70, but I guess I was 52 back then, or no, 1992, I was 42. So this is a while back. But my I had my best friend Lola Soleil, who was this incredible person. She was so funny, and she was a singer, and she just was just great. And she had cancer. It was colon cancer, and just tried everything. We just no matter. I mean, she tried it all, acupuncture, and everything. And so we decided, let's go to Sedona, Arizona. Maybe somebody's going to be there that can help her, right? So had no money. I mean, just barely enough money. I had my mom's car. She gave me it was a Dusty Rose Granada, and I named it, um, what did I name it? Oh, God. Oh, man, I can't think of it. I'll think of it later. Anyway, and Rosebud. It was Rosebud. So, anyway, so we get on the road, and I had these little marbled boxes that I had made that were really uh, they were beautiful. These little marbled boxes. So, anyways, we uh, so we're driving, and the first thing we come to is this big, beautiful truck with a big red phoenix symbol on it, and we're like, "Ooh, that's a good sign, a phoenix." So we're thinking, oh, transformation and all that. And so we follow him for a while. We're driving and driving. It's like a 5 or 8 hour drive, something like that. I can't remember, but it was kind of far. So we're like, oh, we're gonna get there on a prayer and a fume. We're gonna make it. So we get there, and it's in the middle of the night. And so we're driving up, and there's this big, beautiful cross that's inside the mountain. It's all lit up, and I'm like, oh my God, how beautiful. There's a symbol. Another one that's positive. So we drive up, and there's the only thing that's open is this little restaurant called the White House. So we go in, and it's like the pool table and the sawdust on the floor, and you know, nothing fancy. So let's go in, and we'll get maybe it's soup and sandwiches, things like that. So let's get a coffee. So we're sitting there and we're talking about everything. And here it comes, this guy that's sitting on the other table. And he's like, the big bird guy. He's real kind of lanky, and he's got the hood on and stuff. And we're like, okay. So he comes over, and we said he wants to know if he can sit and talk with us. So we're like, okay, come on over. So he has a coffee, and we're all sitting there talking. And he lives up there in the forest, and he's a shaman and all that, a medicine man. And we're like, well, that's cool. Okay, well, that's a good sign. So we told him the story. He says, well, I can take you to this place called the Golden Arch. I'm going, the Golden Arch, you know? So, next thing you know, he says, well, I'll take you the next, tomorrow. You can meet me here like 6 o'clock or something. We're like, okay. So now it's getting light out. And, so I walk out and I go, oh my God, look at this. It's this gallery called Gods and Goddesses. I said, oh my gosh, these people came and asked me to be in, um, to put my art in there when I was doing a show. And they wanted my art. And I said, meet with you later or something. Well, it never happened. Well, here I am. So they're in there, and I had my marbled boxes, and So I went in and hi, we all knew each other, and I gave him some of the boxes and like, thank you, So I said, well, I'll catch you later. We gotta go. And so we go out, and behind there on the side is this place called the Angel Gallery. So I go, oh my God, let's go in there. So we go in, and it is absolutely beautiful. Angels everywhere. I mean, just hanging from the ceiling, and statues, and just paintings, and it was just gorgeous. So twinkles on the floor, and twinkle lights everywhere, and big, huge 4-foot amethyst geodes, and it was just crystals lit up. It was just totally, oh my God, right? So behind the counter is this kind of fluffy lady. And she's like, "Hi, welcome." And we're like, "Oh, thank you." So we love your place. She's, "Oh, thank you so much." And so she goes, "Well, what are you guys doing?" Well, we told her the story about Lola and everything. And she goes, "Well, where are you staying?" And I said, "Well, we're just going to stay in the car." And she goes, "No way. No, no, no." Well, her name is Joy Star. Okay. So we're like, "Oh my goodness. That's great." So, so she goes, "Well, you can stay at my house." I said, "Oh my God, isn't that nice?" Well, it's Thanksgiving time. And she's like, "No, you just come on over. We got plenty of room." So I'm like, "Oh, great." So we go over to her house, and she's got an extra bedroom with two beds. And so we're wide. We take a nap, and we're sleeping there, and we got to go meet the guy like 6 o'clock. So we go over there, and we meet the guy. And he says, "Okay, well, we're gonna go to the Golden Arch." And we're going, "Okay." So we start walking. He takes us over there. And so it's like one of those big rocks, the big red rocks. And we're like, "Oh my God." So he says, "Well, we have to talk about what this is really about. It's called dying to your fears." And I'm saying, "Dying to my fears?" He goes, "Well, what are you afraid of?" And I said, "Well, I'm really afraid of falling because I broke my elbow and one of the hinges, right? I had to have it taken out, and I only have one hinge left, to move my arm up and down. So I couldn't paint or anything if I broke that." So I said, I'm afraid of falling. He's like, "Okay." And I can't remember what Lola said. But anyway, so here we go. And so we're going up the hill, and he's got his flashlight, and we're walking up there and walking and walking and going up in the little trail, and just, up, up, up. We come to this like patio that's, this natural formation that's in the rock. And so, he goes, "Well," I said, "Well, I got to go to the bathroom." So I go way over in the corner, and so I come back, and he goes, "Well, how much farther do we have to go?" And I said, he points up, and like, "Oh my God, how much farther?" So anyway, so we go, and so he goes, "Okay, well, we start going up, up, up." And now we finally come to the spot. Well, there's like one side, there's a rock, there's a big rock cutting out, and then this other place on the other side. So we're sitting like a triad. He's out on the one that's jutting out. So I'm on the left, and Rola's on the right. And he sits out there, and so he starts singing this beautiful Indian music song, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, isn't that beautiful?" I'm getting goosebumps. This funny looking guy, just gorgeous. It's echoing down. And so I look up, and here's the moon and the stars. Beautiful night. And then you look down, and there's the moon and the stars. I'm going, where's the water? There's got to be water. What is that? Isn't that incredible? And the golden arch. So anyway, so all of a sudden I'm rocking back and forth. I'm feeling this energy. Well, he had asked the permission of the Indian spirit that lived there, running deer or somebody. And he said, for us to even be there in the first place. And we're like, okay. So anyway, next thing you know, so I feel this rocking. I go, something's rocking me, you guys. I'm not doing this. And he goes, oh, that's the grandmother. Lola says, well, somebody's rocking me too. He goes, okay. So Lola just got so emotional with the singing and everything and being rocked. And she started crying, it just was too much. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she's just releasing all the negative energy and everything. And so next thing you know, it's time to go. And we're like, okay. So now, oh, there goes Lulu. So Lulu, come here. So, um, so now it's time to go back, and it's like die to your fears, like falling down the hill, right? So I'm like, oh my God. He goes, well, there's going to be two Indian spirits, men, taking you down. And I'm like, okay, so I'm picturing these two gorgeous Indian guys with beads and long hair and everything. Like, okay, I'll go. So all of a sudden I go down the hill, no problem. I'm picturing these guys with me. And so we get all the way down. And now he goes, meet you the next day. So I'll meet you at the restaurant. We're like, okay. So in the meantime, I go back. We go back to Joy Starr's house. And I go, Joy, listen, is it okay if I sleep in the gallery tonight? And she goes, oh, sure, honey. Here's the key and, here's some pillows and blankets and stuff. So I'm like, oh, great, right? So I go and bring everything and go in there, and it's dark, and you could see the light coming in through, isn't just enough light to see in the twinkle light. And so I make a little nest on the sparklies, and I'm surrounded by these angels, and I just had my pillow, and it was real comfortable, and so I fall asleep. Well, I had this vision, this dream that was just amazing. So I'm sleeping there, and all of a sudden, through the pane windows comes this Steven Spielberg light. I mean, just, you know, and there's an angel, and the angel is holding a silver tray, and on the silver tray is diamonds and emeralds and rubies and crystals and all these beautiful gems. I'm like, oh my God. And she goes, this is for you. And I'm like, thank you. Wow. Thank you. And then she's gone. And then next thing you know, here comes another one. And this one has fruit, vegetables, and everything, and herbs, all this stuff on the silver tray. I'm like, "Here, this is for you." And I'm like, oh, take it. Thank you, thank you. And then that one's gone. And then here comes the third one. And this one has an empty silver tray. So I'm like, this is for you. And I'm like, thank you, thank you. And that one's gone. So I wake up and I'm like, I just had a vision. I couldn't forget that. That was just incredible, right? So I go to tell Joy and Lola and everything what happened. And they're like, oh my God. And I go, well, what do you think? We go, well, the first one is like, gems of wisdom. We're all given gems of wisdom through our lives. So, yeah, that's what that one means. And they go, the second one, it's where everything grows. It's all the seeds that everything grows, and we're totally taken care of. It's all here for us. So I go, yeah, that's what it is. And I said, I know what the empty one meant. We're supposed to whatever gifts we've been given, like me in my case, it's my art, to give it back. Let it, whatever it is, it's the empty tray, and we can give it back to the world, what our gift that we were given, no matter what it is, right? So we're like, yeah, that's what that means. So we're like, that was just incredible, right? That was just so magical. I'm like, oh my God, where am I when I wake up? I'm like, this is just, oh. So anyway, so now it's time to go see Shaman, right? Meet him over there at the restaurant at the White House. So we go back, and there he is, and he's got all these gifts for us. We're like, wow. He goes, this is for you guys. Well, he goes, I discussed with my Indian friend, this lady, all about you guys, and we gave you your Indian names, and here's your gifts from us. And I'm like, wow. Well, first he tells me, you're in the butterfly clan. I'm going the butterfly, everything I paint's got wings and butterflies and fairies and angels. So I'm like, that's me. And he gives me this beautiful necklace. It's all abalone with butterfly on it, and these butterfly earrings that match. And I'm like, oh, thank you. Wow, it's so nice. And he goes, well, your name is She Who Flies on the Wind. I'm going, oh my God, that's me. The wings, the butterfly, that's it. Oh my God, thank you. That is just so nice. I can't believe it. She Who Flies on the Wind. So I go, that's me. Anyway, it was really cool. So then it's Lola's turn. Well, he gives her a blanket, one of the Indian blankets, and he gives her a pipe, one of the peace pipes, and he gives her a jaguar. Well, Lola is the cat lady. I mean, everything's cats. She's always had cats and kittens, and I mean, she was a total cat person, right? So, anyway, and then he names her Jaguar Woman, something like, I think it was Jaguar Woman, something like that. I mean, it was just this beautiful name. And we're just like, oh my God, this is so nice. Thank you. So we're just, wow. So now the next day, we're like, well, let's go out to the rocks, beautiful rocks and all these vortex energies out there. I mean, it's really a trip because you feel the energy, and if you're depressed or something, you really get depressed. But if you're happy, you're just ecstatic. So that's one of the things I noticed about it there. But anyway, so we go and we come upon this big medicine wheel with all the rocks that they've made in a circle and like pie slices going all around and in the middle is this little circle, and people have brought all these beautiful crystals and feathers and all kinds of things and put it in the middle. I mean, beautiful stuff and heart rocks and all these different things. We're like, wow. And so you have to walk around this middle and feel the energy of it. I mean, go to each pipe, please, slice, it looks like with rocks. I hope you get the picture, but it's a circle with, looks like a pie that's sliced, right? And then the crystals and everything in the middle. So we're going around it and feeling all the energies and everything. Like, oh, this is incredible. I can't believe we found this. So, and all the rocks around, all the way around, they look like, um, uh, like a wedding cake. I mean, it was just beautiful there. Super blue sky and white clouds and just gorgeous. So now we go, well, let's just go sit down. So we sit on the rocks and just feel it here and see what it feels like, because everything was just, oh. So she sits here, and then I go like another 30 feet over here. Next thing you know, here comes the wind and goes around Lola in a circle. We're like, whoa, and then it comes over to me and in a circle. Just, you know, I'm like, wow. And then it was gone. So we're going, the wind spirit. I mean, just wow. We both got goosebumps. We just couldn't believe it. And it was just out of nowhere. So after that, we left. And now it's Thanksgiving over at Joy's house. Here comes the turkey, and here comes all the trimmings and everything. And we're going to have this big feast. And so all these people come. Here come these people that I know from the art shows I've given in LA. I mean, we did the 7 Days of the Goddess show, which was incredible. I have to tell you about that. And we did the Save the Dolphin show. And so there's these people there that had been artists at that show, and here they are here. Well, this one gal, Laura, she gives me this beautiful bracelet. It's white leather. It's like real thick, and it had crystals all stuck on it. I mean, it was just gorgeous. She goes, I want to give you this. And I said, oh, thank you. And this other person gives me this pin that they made, and it was like this cute little angel. And he goes, here, you can have that. And it was like this, it was like a print, put on a little cardboard with little glitter going around. It was a little angel. And oh, thank you. So I gave everybody my boxes. And so anyway, then we have the feast and all this stuff. It was just wonderful. So then the next day we go, well, let's go to breakfast. There's this place, 100 omelets. So we go, okay, let's go in there. We had a little money left, right? And so we get an omelet. Well, here comes the waitress. I don't remember which one we got. There was 100 different choices. So here comes the waitress. She gives us a hug. I'm going, I can't believe this. All the love, and everywhere you went, it was just so wonderful. And the people were, everybody was just so loving, and just, we were just putting it out and we were getting it back. The energy was just, oh. So that was 1992. And so we came back and came home, and um, couldn't believe it. We just couldn't believe all the wonderful things that happened. And so now we came back to my house, and wasn't that much longer, probably another 6 months later, that Lola went back to Canada, and she passed away. And so I was just sorry she was actually by herself, and it was really sad. And so, but I know she's with me, and she's my guardian angel, and I've got all kinds of stories about her. I mean, we went to Mexico City twice. We went to Vegas so many times, and we went where she used to sing, and we went to Toronto and drove across the country together. And I mean, we just had all kinds of adventures. So, anyway, that's my magical Sedona story that I had. So I just wanted to share that with you. Anyway, so take care and God bless. And I wish you all kinds of magic stories in your life too. I'm sure you're having them. Okay.